The following is a production of the 2- and 4-year communication programs offered at SUNY Cobleskill. It's another edition of the Things Happening on Campus That You Didn't Know About, But Probably Should podcast. I'm your host, Chris Parlato. Hang out with us for a little bit. Hi, I'm Chris Parlato. Welcome to our first edition of Things Happening on Campus That You Didn't Know About But Probably Should. Today I have my guest, Milana Jaffin from the Canine Management Program. So I guess let's just get into it. So what made you choose SUNY Cobleskill? I mean, I know you're a canine major. I mean, what made you choose to come here?
My brother, he came here for his freshman year, and when he visited, he for mechanics, my dad went with him, and my dad took a picture of the dog in the canine part, like they were like visiting, and he sent the picture to the group chat, and he said they have a dog program here, and so that's what got me interested.
Yeah, I know you mentioned your brother is also a student here that started before too, and I know you mentioned like he's also part of like the agriculture part of campus, with part of like that program. I know they have like a lot of very interesting and like unique programs here, and so it makes sense that that would be something that I've seen a lot of things, and I'm actually familiar that the canine program is actually pretty new. Like it just started like a few years ago. Yeah,
it's like pretty popular. I think that's why there's so many new students here. It's like from like all around the country. So yeah.
Yes, it is. They have a lot of programs here at this school, as I know too, that are very unique. They don't really offer at other colleges and stuff. But I've seen a lot of like the stuff like I was in Alumni Commons, and I see like where the dogs run around and stuff, and like people training and stuff. And I haven't been that familiar with it. I've just kind of like met some other people in the canine training program, but I didn't really know too much about it until except for just like seeing in passing, until actually you mentioned it to me and told me a little bit about it, and showed me like where the kennels are and stuff. It's very interesting. I didn't know a lot about that stuff.
It's like there's not a lot of colleges that do canine management, so it really did get my attention. So yeah,
this is the only college I heard of that actually offers that as a major, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So what kind of the things are you thinking about like doing with that degree?
Well, I'm in a behavioral problem management class right now, and I think that really got me interested in like working with dogs with behavioral problems, like maybe aggression or fear dogs. Because my dog Colby, he was rescued, and he had like a bad past, so he's fearful, and so I've been working with him. And also my dog Sawyer, who's a Springer Spaniel, he has problems. He was aggressive towards people because he was a COVID dog, so he had like problems, like he wasn't socialized. So I socialized him for like a couple of weeks, and maybe after like a month or two, he went from lunging to people and barking to having strangers pet him. So
what like, was it just a mix of like a bunch of different things you did? Like what did you do to get him like more comfortable with people?
I actually got advice from one of my teachers, from Mr. Mackwater. He told me that I should socialize him, and so what that means is like I brought him to like a park, and I had him watch people from afar, and at a certain distance he would start like barking, so I'd like create more space, and then he would not bark, and so I'd just have him like watch people walk by and give him treats. And it took like a while, and I went from him like sitting and watching to like walking past people, and then going to more crowded places. So I started small, and then I went like bigger.
That's actually, yeah, and that makes sense that and I don't know that much about canine training and stuff, but that makes sense. That I actually did with my dog too, is to try to get her and she wasn't either just like your dog. She also wasn't aggressive as much. She was just kind of nervous, and she would bark and stuff. And that's kind of what I did, is just get her more familiar, like going out into public places like a park or something, and have them her just get more familiar with like meeting other dogs. So I guess that's more of what like you said you're interested more, because I've seen like other kinds of like more specific parts of the canine program, like people training for like police dogs and like for like finding things and finding people, like the I don't know exactly what do they call them, like the smelling dogs,
Scent work
and stuff. Yeah. So you're more, I guess, focused particularly on like the training, like behavioral training aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like tons of things like the scent work, and there's when I went to the college first and I visited, they had this Doberman and he did scent work, and then they also have like an agility course, so that's pretty cool. There's like a bunch of like options you can choose from.
I've seen some of that stuff, but I actually I went to the canine club a few times, and they showed us some of that stuff of like comparing it to like people and stuff, and like human psychology and stuff, like with having people find stuff and like the clicker and stuff. They showed us part of that.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar about it, but some of that stuff is really interesting.
Yeah.
So I mean, what year are you in right now in school?
It's my third semester, but I think that makes me a sophomore right now, though. I think.
And this is a 4-year program, right? That you're going to be planning on coming for another 2 years after this?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, so what made you first interested in doing this as like what you were going to go to college for?
Well, at first I was like thinking of being a vet because like my interest in dogs, it was like when I was really little, I had this dog named Hugger, and he was a black lab, and so he was like really fun to be with, and when we took him on walks, I'd always see other dogs and I'd always ask to pet them. So I was always interested, and then when I grew up, I went to Nottawag High School. They have this agriculture program, and I took a vet class, and I realized I wasn't interested on the anatomy of dogs. I was more interested in working with the dogs instead of like on the dogs. So yeah, I realized I wanted to be a trainer.
So is that also something that they have here that they offer for like you're talking about like the anatomy of dogs and stuff, more of like a medical part of like becoming like a vet or something? Do they also have like a program like that here? Because I'm not too familiar with that.
I'm in Miss Ware. I'm in her class. We're learning about the anatomy of dogs right now, and I think it's like one of the courses you have to take to to graduate and to get the degree. So it's like part of it. Yeah.
I can imagine that being like pretty interesting, but also kind of confusing, because it's like something I'm wondering is there's different breeds of dogs and they're all different sizes and stuff and different shapes. How similar is the anatomy in like different breeds of dogs, and like how different is that?
It's probably just like longer, I guess. Like,
so pretty much for the most part, it's like most of the dog's anatomy, besides like a few small details, are almost the same.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It is a bit confusing though, but yeah.
I can imagine.
Study that, yeah. So
I mean, I think unless there's anything else you'd like to add, I think that's really all the questions I have for now.
Nice. I have a favorite dog I work with. Her name's Luna, and I was actually gonna bring her today, but she wasn't available. But she's a Springer Spaniel, and she reminds me of my dog Sawyer. So there's like a bunch of dogs we can work with at the kennel, and people bring their dogs. Like people around Cobleskill, they bring their dogs to the campus, and so it has like the students. Students can work with them.
So you would be training other people's dogs that they bring in.
Yeah, so it's a really cool program. Yeah,
that's good. That's sounds like a great way to learn by practicing on. I don't know any other way to put it. Real dogs. I don't know if it would be fake dogs, but
yeah,
but it's the best way to practice, I guess, is more like hands-on.
Yeah.
So I think for now that's all I have for now.
Yeah.
I would say that probably wraps up this edition of Things You Didn't Know About Campus, but probably should. I'm Chris Parlato. See you next time.